Welcome to my channel Commerce with Vikas sir. This is my episode 5 regarding practical problems on bills of exchange. In episode 4 we discussed bill drawn, discounted, the banker and honored at maturity. Here we are going to discuss bill drawn, discounted but dishonored at maturity. So without wasting much time, let's get started. Mr. X sold goods to Mr. Y for rupees 30,000 on 1/11 November 23. Draw bill on the same date after date for 3 months. The bill is discounted with the banker on 4th December 23 at the rate of 10% per annum. On the due date, bill is dishonored and noting charges paid by bank rupees 200. Pass journal entries in the books of both the parties. Okay, so X has sold goods to Y. So X, in the books of X, we need to pass entry for goods sold, bill drawn, bill discounted and bill dishonored. And in the books of Y, we have to pass 3 entries. One is for goods purchased, second is for bills accepted, and third is for dishonor of the bill. Okay, in first entry, in if you see here, so on 1/11/23 goods has been sold to Mr. Y. So Y is a debtor and X is a creditor. So X will definitely draw bill on Y. But first of all, we have to pass entry for goods sold. When goods are sold on credit, the entry will be debtors to sales. But who is the debtor? Y. So in the books of X, the entry will be Y account debit to sales. Okay, Y is a debtor. So in on credit sales, one has to debit the debtors and we have to credit the sales. So being goods sold on credit 30,000. But in the books of drawing, that is Y, it is a credit purchase. So when goods are purchased on credit, the entry will be purchase account debit to creditor. So who is a creditor? Mr. X is a creditor. So entry will be purchase account debit to Mr. X account 30,000. So being goods purchased on credit. So this is the first entry. And on the same date, good has been, a bill has been drawn. So when bill is drawn, the drawer will pass the entry as bills receivable to drawee. In the books of the drawer, the entry will be as follows: bills receivable to drawee. So we have to debit bills receivable, and who is a drawee? The person on whom the goods has been sold. So Y is the drawee. Okay. So in the books of X, upon bill drawn, the entry will be bills receivable to Y's account. Okay, being bill drawn for 3 months. When bill is drawn and sent to the drawee will accept it and he will pass the entry as in the books of the drawee. On acceptance of the bills, the entry will be drawer to bills payable. Drawer to bills payable. Who is a drawer? Mr. X is a drawer. So he'll pass the entry as X account debit to bills payable account. Okay, X account debit to bills payable account. And third entry, the bill has been discounted on 4th December 23. So when bill is discounted, it means that the drawer will surrender or hand over the bill to the bank against the security of bill, and the bank will credit certain amount in the books of the drawer. But bank will not pay the full amount to the drawer because it is just an advance or a short-term loan provided to the drawer against securities or bills receivable. So when bill is discounted, the entries in the books of the drawer will be bank account debit, discount on bills account debit to bills receivable. One has to cancel the bill or bill goes out. But we need to calculate the amount of discount on bills. So you need to know one thing. How do we calculate amount of discount? So it is very important to know the process of calculating discount on bills. So you have to count the date from discounting of the bill till the date of maturity. So that period you need to calculate discount on bills. So bill has been discounted on 4th December, okay, and the bill will mature on when? So as the bill has been drawn on 1st November, it is for 3 months, 1st November to 1st December. 1 month, 1st December to 1st January. 2 months, 1st January to 1st February, 3 months. And 3 day extra, it will be 4th February, but it should be 24 because it has been drawn on November. So November, December, January for next month, next year. So it is on 4th January 2024. So from, if you see the question, so from 4th December 23 to 4th February 24, it is 2 months. So you need to use the formula. 30,000 is the face value of the bill and 10 by 100 is the rate of discount, and it is for 2 months, so you'll get 500. So bank will charge a discount on bills to the extent of 500 and will paid amount of 29,500. So the entry will be bank account debit, discount on bills to bills receivable. Then what will be the entry for bill discounting in the bank of the drawer? It means no entry because the transaction is between the bank and the drawer. So the drawer will not pass entry for discounting of bill. On the due date, that is due date means 4th February 2024, when the bill is dishonored, then definitely the bank will deduct the amount from the account of the drawer. Not only the face value of the bill, but also the noting charges which has been paid by the bank on behalf of the drawer. Okay. So bank has paid a noting charges of, if you see the question, refer 200. Okay, it is a 200. So bank will deduct 30,000 plus 200 extra for discount charges, which drawer will ultimately recover from the drawee. So upon dishonor of the bill which has been discounted, X will, or the drawer will pass the entry as the drawee account debit to bank. Drawee to bank. Okay. So drawee will be debited by face value of the bill 30,000 plus 200 noting charges, that is 30,200. And in the books of the drawee, when bill is dishonored, you will pass the entry as bills payable to drawer. Bills payable to drawer. Here the entry is wrong. I am sorry, I am correcting it. It should be bills payable to drawer as the bill has been dishonored. Bills payable to Y account. Whenever bill is dishonored, the drawee will debit or cancel bills payable and he will credit Y account. But he need to pay 30,200 to the drawer because the noting charges is the liability of the drawee. But he will debit bills payable to the extent of 30,000 only because the amount of bills payable is only 30,000. So for extra 200 for noting charges, he has to debit noting charges account. So upon dishonor, drawer will pass the entry as bills payable account 30,000, noting charges 200, debit to Y's account 30,200. Being bill dishonored at maturity. So this is the entry for dishonored of the bill which has been discounted with the banker. So the entry for noting charges will be passed only in the books of the drawee. So the noting charges is definitely a liability for the drawee. So this much for today. We'll meet soon with next episode. Till then, goodbye.